streets alive, a constant hub with endless tales in every slum. From Central Park.
Talking about all the live aspect of it, which is really like what separates you from the competition, right? Being able to do it live, being able to do it in real time. You know, you're talking about, you said in the last, say, 12 months, you've gone down from 30 seconds to 10 seconds. Maybe the next 12 months, you're down to 3 seconds or 5 seconds, like with the way that everything's going. What about recorded content?
But dreams take flight, and the city's glow both day and night. Skyscrapers rise, touch the sky. In New York's heart, I'll reach so high.
Oh, yeah. Recorded's easy.
Easy?
Yeah, by comparison, recorded's easy.
Yeah.
So, look, we, I mean, as late as 2020, we had, I think, 45% of our business was recorded.
Got it.
Now it's like 8%.
Right.
But what we're doing is we are now delivering that same fidelity and cost effectiveness of service that we're doing with live with recorded.
Yes.
So, you know, we're effectively now delivering 100 times more content than we did in 2020 at 25% more revenue.
Yeah.
So you go, well, hang on, you must be doing it a lot cheaper than you did before, and we are.
Yeah.
And that's obviously part of the scaling process, is that we're able to we're able to provide people with a solution that's scalable.
Yes.
No one needs to choose when you have this on and when you don't have this on. It's on all the time. Every meeting that you've got in your organization is going to be transcribed. Everyone can be translated. Everyone can be understood. And every meeting you can scale the clarity and insight to within your organization from that in an automated way.
Right.
We've got all of the elements of that within our Lexi AI solution. And it's then a question of how you implement that based on what's most important for the individual customer organization. And then what you've got to do is you've got to have processes and systems in place to validate the data.
Yes.
Because if you haven't got the right data in there, it's going to be
a mess.
And a great example, right? I've been using this myself because I like to eat our own dog food, and it's been amazing. It generated my performance review in 2 minutes, and I went, "That's pretty good, actually."
Was it a good review?
It was a pretty good review.
That's good.
It certainly had a lot more detail than what I would have put in it. In terms of SaaS transition and leadership, all that kind of stuff.
And how did it generate that? Was that
it's
like
because
conversations?
I
feed
fed it in. So I fed in all the information that was relevant and none of the information that wasn't.
Okay.
But what I did do wrong one day is I used speech recognition to do an input. Okay. And all of a sudden, it had me doing strange things and making strange recommendations. So I went and had a look in the thing, and I realized that it said, I tried to say I'm leading AI media, and the speech recognition came out saying I'm leaving AI media. Now I picked this up immediately because all of a sudden I've got this incoherent
hopefully it didn't affect the share
coming
price.
Back. No, it didn't. And I'm not leaving.
Yes.
But it goes to show how important actually, it's not about the engine, it's not about the architecture, it's actually about the data.
Got it.
Right, and it's about the data flows and making sure that you've got the right data in the right place at the right time, second by second. Okay. Orchestrated without a human.
Amazing. And Apple just announced that they're adding in real-time translation services. They're incorporating that into their AirPods, right? With their next release of iOS. How does that affect or benefit what you're doing with AI media?
Oh, I think it clearly demonstrates that the technology is there. Right? And if you've got so effectively we're looking at those environments where we've got the 9 squares, right? Which is broadcast, government and enterprise, Americas, EMEA and APAC, right? So 3 regions, right? What we're setting out to do is to move from what's in the top left square all the way through all the 9 squares, right? So, and in doing that, what we're looking to do is we're looking to take the lessons that we have learned in the most difficult environment possible, which is broadcast live television in the US.
Yeah, you got to get it right. You got to get it right.
Like we're at the top of the mountain already, right?
Yeah.
If you want to then deliver this service into, meetings at JP Morgan, it's actually an easier problem to try and solve. Yeah. But you need a different encoder set, right? Because the encoder is going to be in a room. It's not going to be in a broadcast setting. So what we need to do now is we need to understand where are the opportunities to move quickly.
Yes.
And one of the opportunities to move quickly that we've spoken about is Alta Everywhere, right? And Alta Everywhere is about saying, well, we've currently got 6,000 encoders in the world. So AirPods, coming back to the question, AirPods are an encoder. They're encoding the audio because they're listening to the conversation in real time. That's exactly what our devices do. So we're looking to develop more and more encoders that look less like broadcast encoders and look more like AirPods.
Nice. Okay. So it's, so when Apple typically releases a technology, like quite often they're not first to market, right? But when they do release it, it kind of legitimizes really the technology in a lot of cases. So you're seeing it as validating almost what you've been doing and
it's
really,
the same workflow.
Right.
It's exactly they're embedding this exact same workflow in consumer device. We're embedding that workflow in a B2B environment.
Okay.
We launched ours first.
Yes. So what's your focus moving forward, whether that's technology or a market sector? What are you guys looking at for the next 12 to 18 months?
Well, look, it's a great question, and actually, so we're looking to scale the business into those 9 squares to deliver 60 million in EBITDA in FY29, and we're doing that through adjacencies. So at the moment, if we're in the top left square, which is US broadcast, we're now moving into Europe broadcast and APAC broadcast. And we're also moving into government and then into enterprise
as well.
But to get into government and enterprise, we need a different encoder set. So one of the things that we've been very open about is looking at acquisitions of businesses that have hardware encoders but don't have the software layer of iCap. So that we could deliver into these markets what we got by acquiring EEG in 2021.
That's fantastic. Look, there's just so much to unpack with the technology that you have, and I can only see it gaining much more traction, especially, I mean, I work in that education / government / corporate sector, and I see huge opportunities for what you're doing. And like you said, what you've already done is the hardest bit, working in broadcasts, live broadcasts, right? Because as I said, you're typically going out to millions of people, especially in North America, going out to millions of people, it's live, you got to get it right. Otherwise, heads are going to roll. And it's regulated. There you go, right?
And so if you get it wrong, and the broadcaster's going to get a fine or potentially even be taken off air. Right? And we've got 22 years of experience doing this.
That's incredible.
And so, taking that into government, taking that into enterprise, that gives us the scope to grow the market well beyond 60 million in EBITDA. I've said we can be at 60 million in EBITDA just in broadcast in FY29, right? But I've also said this is an organic target. So to get into government and to get into enterprise, it will require M&A.
Got it.
Not for the software, for the hardware. Because you still need a way of actually capturing the audio from a room. And that's not a digital solution. That's not something that Amazon, Google, or Facebook are going to come up with. You know, how do you get the audio out of a room and get it into the engine? And that's the encoder.
And hence why you've exhibited at ISE, you exhibit at NAB, you're partnering with AV contractors and also corporates and things like that, because they know how to do all that in-room stuff and how to get it into the encoder. That's their expertise, right? That's right. And you'll take it from there once they do that. Amazing. So if people want more information on AI media, where's the best place to go? What are the next steps?
Well, the website's always a good place. Follow us on LinkedIn. And I just book a demo. Get people to just click on the book a demo button. Hear for yourself.
Right. and that demo, that's with a real person, like as a live demo?
We will organise a live demo. No, live demo, into what language, and then what we'll do is we'll work with you to figure out Where do you want to send the stream? Do you want it on an app? Do you want it to a website? What's your monetization plan? If you're translating English Premier League into Croatian, are you selling ads off the back of that to fund the $30 an hour?
Yep.
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah, got it.
And so we'll work with you on that integration.
And I remember when I saw this for the first time at ISE, like saw the live demo, I was blown away, right? And you know, I work in the technology space, right? So there's not that many things that blow me
amazing.
away, right?
It's just no, and look, we've been launching a version of this product since 2018.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
April the 7th was the line in the sand where people went, oh my God, this is amazing.
It's incredible.
Right? Because everything, right? It's like, it's live, it's the translation accuracy, and it's the sound like a human.
Yes.
It doesn't sound like a computer anymore.
And I think it's credit to you guys that you've kind of really held back on releasing this. You know what I mean?
Like timing's everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. We've got 2 new board directors, Otto Burkus and Brad Bender.
Yeah.
And Otto was one of the original co-founders of the Xbox and was at Microsoft for 25 years.
Wow.
Brad was originally at DoubleClick and then went with that acquisition to Google, where he spent 25 years.
Yeah.
And they joined the board last November. And one of the things the only thing we were really focused on is how do we get this Lexi Voice launch right on April the 7th, and what does it mean? And they both came up with this amazing concept, which is not a minimum viable product, an MVP. Everyone knows MVP. It's actually a minimum lovable product.
Right. I like that. That's
What's
awesome.
actually the minimum thing that could get someone to love it, right?
Yeah.
And up until April the 7th, it didn't sound human.
Okay.
The translation was great. The latency was awesome, but it still sounded a little robotic.
Yeah.
And so putting all those 3 things together, that made it minimally lovable. And the expression on everyone's face when they put it,
I know. It is, you have to see it to believe it.
You have to hear it. You have to
hear it to believe it. That's true.
You can see people's reactions.
Yes.
You have to see people's reactions. Particularly, it's like, I mean, I don't know Tagalog, right? But when the people putting things on, they go, oh, that's amazing. You go, okay, we're there.
It is incredible.
And the thing is, it works in every language.
Yeah.
Like whether it was Korean, Japanese, as I said, Tagalog, Thai, Turkish, Arabic, Hebrew, Slovenian, it was all there.
It's amazing.
Like everybody thought it was amazing, whereas 6 months ago, everyone was like, I can see it's getting there.
Yeah, it's got potential.
It's got, you're close. Whereas now it was like, where do I buy?
That's it.
$30 an hour.
Amazing.
You know, go.
Incredible. Incredible. Tony, thank you so much for your time.
It's
been a great discussion, especially here in New York with such a great backdrop. If you've enjoyed this interview, make sure you follow us, The Tech Effect, on LinkedIn. But more importantly, follow AI Media on LinkedIn, hit their website, do yourself a favor and make sure you get a demo, because like we've just been discussing, it will totally blow you away. So, Tony, thanks again for your time, and we'll see you on the next episode.